longer being recorded.
Oh, wait a second.
I didn't know I was the
This
chair.
conference will now be recorded.
Isn't Mr.
I agree. I was thinking I emailed you asking about if you'd chair the meeting for us. So
Okay.
Whenever you're ready, you can open the meeting.
All right. For the February 10th Historic Preservation Commission, please come to order at 5:31 p.m. Do I ask for the roll call?
Yes. Delicio.
Here.
Remington.
Here.
Rogan. You're muted, Tim.
Here.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so then
Then we go to the public comments.
public comments, and is Mr. Smith coming or no?
No.
Okay. Is there any public comments for the meeting? Then hearing none, shall we go on to item 3?
Yes.
Okay, item 3, approval of the minutes. Hopefully you had a chance to read them. That was in the first email for December 9th. Did anyone have any questions or corrections for? I think you sent those to us in the 1st of January, right?
Yes, with the agenda.
Anybody have any corrections to that December 9th approval of minutes, or can we have a motion to accept the minutes?
I will motion to accept.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch you. Who did the motion, Shannon?
I'll motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Okay. And then the roll call, Commissioner Delicio wasn't here, so she'll abstain. And then Remington?
Are we doing roll call again?
For approval of the minutes.
For approval of the minutes, yeah, just say yes, right?
Oh, yes, yes,
And Rogan.
yes.
Okay. Great.
So we have new business next, right? Joe,
Yes.
and our wonderful letter and form from Elizabeth Kelly is a citizen interested in serving on the commission. So I hope she can hear us now. Are you trying to hear us, Elizabeth? Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us more about yourself? I don't know if she can hear.
Make sure
There is a
phone in.
phone. I wonder if we could call her and tell her to look at that microphone thing or the speaker thing that's on your top of your computer. But I
On
did
the bottom, the camera thing, the mic thing.
the mic thing that's like on the dash on your computer top. Maybe we can call her. Can't hear us at all, darn.
I think she's trying to call in.
And she can't call in. She's trying to use her headphone. I did get to read her form. She's got a lot of experience on different committees and boards that I recall. I wonder if we could call her. Do you have her phone number? We could call her and tell her to try to hit that.
Yeah, let me grab my phone.
Okay. And then our second item under new business is to elect a chair and vice chair. So you might want to be thinking about that. Oh, poor Elizabeth. There's got to be a way she can figure out her microphones or speakers. Audio, there's a click for audio too. She might try that.
ringing.
That's good, Georgie. You got through. Sounds like.
Hello?
Hi, Elizabeth. I'm not sure what's going on here, but we can hear you. If you would, I think what we'll do, if you can go ahead and click the little microphone button at the bottom of your screen to mute yourself, and then I'll just use my phone. I think everybody will be able to hear you through my phone.
Okay, how's that?
Let's see. All right, everybody, tell me if you can hear. Elizabeth, go ahead and talk.
I can hear.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, guys. Yeah, I don't know what to do. I've got like 3 different devices here, and I'm trying to make one work, but I'm with you now. So thank you for your patience.
Well, you did a good job. I'm just chairing the meeting as the vice chair from last year, and we were talking about your application and wanted you to give us some more information if you wanted to tell us why you'd like to be on the committee or the commission. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you guys, though. I'm just going to be quiet till I hear someone talk to me.
Oh, she can't hear us still.
Okay, Elizabeth, can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay, and Jean, go ahead and talk and see if you can hear her, or she can hear you.
I don't think she can hear me because she just, can you hear me at all? No.
Just a little bit. Go ahead.
Well, just give it, we just wanted to have you inform us about your background and why you're interested. No, maybe you should just tell her on the phone, Georgie.
Okay, Elizabeth?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you could just tell the commissioners a little bit about your background and your interest in serving on the commission, they can hear you, and then
Okay.
I'll try and relay any questions they might have.
All right. Thanks, you guys, for your patience. Yeah, I've just been in Trinidad about 2.5 years. My background in disability and aging, basically. I work for the Council of Government. Part-time. I'm the long-term care ombudsman, so I'm an advocate for people who live in nursing homes and assisted living. That's kind of what I've done all of my career, but my interest in the commission is really just, twofold. Of course, the need and the appeal of preserving all this amazing historic architecture, and what a time to be in Trinidad, right? With so much going on. So that basic interest, and then plus I feel like I just have some skills, some background, I've got a lot. I love working on strangely, planning and sort of detail-oriented kinds of projects. I love connecting dots. I like making sure people communicate, and so kind of a process nerd, I guess, but also a beauty nerd, I guess I would add. So that's my very unrehearsed interest speech in why I would like to be on the commission. I think I could be an asset, so thank you.
Well, let me ask Georgie a question. Georgie, have you met with Elizabeth and told her what this commission is?
Yes, we did meet. I believe it was early January is when we got together. And then, of course, we didn't have a January meeting, so we had to postpone. But we had a good conversation, and I think she'll do really well. She'd be a big help with this commission. So.
Oh, yes. I don't have any doubts that Elizabeth would be a great asset to us. But I do feel like most of us have joined the commission not really understanding what it does. And I don't want to make that mistake over and over again.
Yes, I do understand. Feel free to, tell Elizabeth your thoughts about being on the commission.
Well, I don't think you can hear me. Can you, Elizabeth?
A bit, yes. Go ahead, please.
Let me listen. Let me see if I can speak closer to the speaker. The commission is a quasi-judicial commission. I know you know what that means. But we do not advocate at all. All we do is Georgie and her staff works with anybody who wants to landmark their business, their property. And then we sit as a kind of a judicial board to decide whether it's a good idea or not. So I think a lot of us, we're very enthusiastic about historic preservation, but on this commission, we cannot advocate because we have to remain neutral.
Yes, and I hope it's okay to reply. Yeah, I think Georgie was really clear about that.
Okay, good. That's what I was wondering about.
And one thing I'd like to say about that is, it's a quasi-judicial commission in regard to any applicants that are requesting landmarking, or once their property is landmarked, if they're requesting an alteration to that landmark property, then it's a quasi-judicial commission. But the commission has so many other tasks that, for one thing, educating the community. So the commission can advocate for historic preservation in general, just can't be specific about a certain property. So education, we have a task of trying to inventory all the historic resources that we have in the community, educating, and coming up with things that we want to advise the city council on. We're working on a survey plan right now, and I know the commission's wanting to put together a whole preservation plan, which is like an overarching document, about how we should proceed with preserving our historic assets. So there are some things where you can advocate for. It's just in regard to those specific applications, and that we have to do the quasi-judicial aspect of it. So I know, I believe Shannon's been doing some filming. Maybe you can talk about that a little bit, Shannon. And also Commissioner Remington is also a member of the Kiwanis and the Rotary. And so organizations like that, the commissioners it's great to go out there and, get the community thinking about historic preservation in general, But Shannon, go ahead.
Well, I am a local real estate agent here in town, and luckily a lot of our historic properties do come on the market pretty regularly. So I do try and document those as much as possible. This year for 2021, we'll be focusing, as Georgie mentioned, on doing more filming and just a little bit more information about the history around town, but more in regards from my real estate perspective.
And I can't remember which one of you was talking about in one of our earlier meetings, recording things that are happening right now that will later on be history, buildings that are changing, or was that Commissioner Rogan that was talking about doing that, just going out and on our own and photographing different areas, different houses?
We were talking about it, but it wasn't me who was going to go out and photograph. No.
No, I think it was, all of us thought that was a good idea.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure anybody particular volunteered to do it.
Yeah. And Elizabeth, one thing I'd like to say is Commissioner Delicio has been on this commission a number of years now, almost since the beginning, I believe. And but the rest of the commission is new, started in 2020. So we're really trying to get this going. We really are. And so we did get this grant to do the survey plan, which will give us a sense of what has been done in the past and what the consultants would recommend that we focus energy on in inventorying properties. That there's a lot of things we can do. COVID has made it difficult to get together, to meet, to really put some plans together, but we're working at it. So we really hope you'd be interested in joining the commission.
I really am. And can I ask, so is your next step to work on the survey? Is that kind of what would be happening in the immediate future?
Yes. It's kind of new for me too, so I'm learning as we go. But there was a lot of talk about, of course, the downtown area is the National Historic Register District. There's been talk about possibly expanding that district into more of the homes to the south. And so we're hoping that our consultants will give us some recommendations about the best way to get started. We have just landmarked the one Carnegie Library thus far, and we want to landmark some city-owned buildings, some additional city-owned buildings. So that's kind of in our plans right now. And I wanted to talk a little bit more about that in my report, but we're hoping that this survey plan will provide us with direction about how is best, the wisest way to proceed.
Yeah.
So.
We don't do the survey. We have professionals doing the survey. But we can review it and decide priorities, I think. Isn't that right, Georgie?
Yes. And so we're a certified local government through History Colorado. I think I explained this when we were together, that we have certain requirements we have to do with History Colorado. So inventory of properties is a big aspect of that.
And you did, Georgie, and I've been reading that manual that that I got when we met. So it helps me to get a little bit of a framework or a better understanding of kind of how it's organized through the state and so forth.
That's great. That was the that CLG book that you all got a copy of, and then I believe I gave you a copy of the ordinance too, which is
you did.
What guides in our work. So that's great. I'm glad you've been reading up on that. Help educate me. So.
Well, do we need a motion to approve the application to go forward?
Yes, that'd be great.
Well, I'll make the motion.
Okay.
And I'll second it.
Okay. And we'll go ahead with roll call. Delistio?
Yes.
And Remington?
Yes.
And Rogan?
Yes.
Okay, great. So Elizabeth, what I'll do is I'll ask Audra Garrett to schedule, next Tuesday will be the next city council meeting, and ask her to put you on the agenda. It's the council that will make the decision to seat you on the commission.
Okay, great.
I'll be in touch with you on that, and you're welcome to sit in the rest of the meeting if you want to listen in.
If I can, and I'll see if I can listen to the computer audio, and before if we have another meeting, we'll connect to make sure I'm connected correctly. But anyway, thanks you guys. I appreciate it.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for your interest. We do appreciate it.
So I hang up now, Georgie?
You can, okay, if you think you can get it to work, go ahead.
I'll disconnect.
Okay.
So we have the second item under new business is to elect the chair and a vice chair is it a 2-year period, Georgie, you think? Or?
Well, we should do this every January, so we would elect officers each January.
Annually then.
for the remainder of this year.
This is the first time I've had to serve as the chairman, so I do not wish to run again because
You're
don't
doing
like talking on the
great.
phone. I don't like talking in cameras. Got sunburn today and taking my junior high outside. I teach music and I am K-12 music at Primero School, and we are having a marching band and a color guard squad. We don't play instruments, we play boom whackers, believe it or not. Can't play any brass or woodwind instruments, so we're using boom whackers to imitate. We don't have any flags yet, but we're planning on it in Primero. It's a beautiful field if you've ever been out to Weston area. It's a kind of
Yeah. Nice.
field. We have a beautiful football field, a nice track, a brand new $13 million basketball court too. So it's a great school district. I just don't feel I can't do much more on the historic preservation, but I'm enjoying getting the city-owned buildings landmarked. I think that's on our agenda under old business.
Yes. Yes.
Hopefully we'll, but Chris Smith's leadership, he is our chairman, and I don't know if you want us to nominate him again or if somebody wants to have nominate.
I needed to let you know that Chairman Smith resigned from the commission. So I'm hoping that a couple of you there will.
Is he still with the West Theater, or is he
Yes.
doing with
Yes.
the West Theater?
Yes, he's still working with Dana and the Fox Theater. And
Yes.
I believe he teaches at the college as well.
Yes.
So the chairman, it does have some responsibility in, being able to come to the meetings and kind of lead the meeting. But I'm hoping that somebody will be willing to take on that role. And then the vice chair, of course, is also an important position, that someone who can fill in when the chairman can't be there. So is there anyone interested in being the chair?
I am not. I'm the president of Rotary right now, and it's taking all my time. I can't take on another chair.
Okay.
Honestly, I just don't know what I'm doing enough. I just don't have enough experience to even do it.
Parliamentary procedure. You can do it, Shannon. I nominate Shannon because I think she'd be a good.
Yes.
And you're letting
I'm like very busy all the time. I don't think I'm the person for it.
Well, we're all busy, but Shannon, you're just full of energy and brightness.
Right, the brightness is great. We need you to try. We'll train you, right? I think Georgie will help train you, right? Because it's just a parliamentary procedure. You just take the motions and lead the meeting.
I'll agree to vice. I'll fill in, and then I'll learn, and then next year I'll be ready.
Okay.
How about that?
As vice chair, can I count on you to run the meeting next month? This next month?
Sure.
And what?
Sure.
I'm not sure if Elizabeth would be interested, if council seats her, if she would be interested in helping us by serving as chair.
Well,
Jim doesn't want to be chair?
well, I don't feel I have enough time either because I have a historic building I'm trying to preserve in Raton, and I'm real caught up with the full-time. I have 140 students a week teaching music, so it's a lot of preparation, and I feel I haven't had time to even read the preservation plans that you even read. So I mean,
Okay, how about if we do this? How about if we, somebody make a motion to do Commissioner Rogan as vice chair, and then maybe next month we'll figure out chair?
that
Maybe-
sounds like a good plan.
maybe
I'll
we'll
make
have-
that motion.
Okay. And is there a second?
Yes, I'll second that.
Okay. And then all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Congratulations,
Thank you.
Vice
Hopefully I
Chair.
don't let you down.
You won't let us down, Shannon.
Mhm.
Okay. And maybe everybody can, if you know of somebody that you think might be great on the commission, just kind of encourage them. Maybe we'll get somebody that, get a fifth person on the commission would be great.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll move that to continue the chair to next month. Okay.
So the next item, oh boy, I better keep up. So unfinished business, we had city-owned properties that we were trying to landmark and get applications for, and we had a list of about 23. So do you have any status for us on that, Georgie?
Okay, well, what I would like to do is, as you know, in the past we worked with Sharice Boomsma. Commissioner Delicio remembers Sharice, I'm sure. And I'm going to verify with council now that it's a new year since they had approved our budget before, but I believe we could utilize the funds that they had said we could use to landmark properties and hire Sharice to start one by one landmarking some of our city-owned buildings. Because as you all said, we're all so busy, we can't do it on our own. So I'm going to see if we can arrange to do that. And what I'd like from the commission is maybe send me an email with your top 5 that you would like to do. I know the Fox is probably a high one on everybody's list, but and I'll take that to them as well. Say we want to start with these 5. We want to end up doing all of them if we can, all of them that are appropriate. But how about if we go with that method and get something moving here with
That's
those?
a good idea.
Yeah, and then, COVID came. We did the Carnegie Library, and we got the plaques. And I was hoping we could do a big PR splash where the mayor and and the commissioners would be there and get some newspaper coverage over that. And COVID kind of got in the way, but I'm hoping that as we do these applications, we can just be in the paper over and over and over again. I think that's good to stimulate people thinking about historic preservation here. So
we don't need a motion, we just need to send you a list?
well, are you all kind of in agreement of proceeding that way? And okay, then we'll just if you get a minute, just send me a list of your top 5 you'd like to start with, and we'll just kind of get it together. And I'll contact Sharice. I haven't talked to her in quite a while now, but
well, her fee was about $2,000 per landmark, wasn't it? It was about that much?
no, I think she would, if I'm remembering right, she said 200 to 250 she estimated. Now some of them might be much more, like if it was any of the buildings up at Monument Lake, for example, that's going to be a lot more difficult for travel time things. So it might vary a little bit, but yeah, I think initially she said she thought she could do them. If I'm thinking that through correctly, maybe it was a little bit more. I'll have to go back and double check that and see what it is, and then get council to approve it, and we'll go from there. Okay.
Okay, so the next item is the 2001 Corazon de Trinidad Survey digitalization, which we were going to take it. Was that a $10,000? Were we still thinking that?
Right.
Budget?
That's what we did have, I believe, yeah. And so I need to go back and, we have to have a plan and say, yeah, we do want to use this, and please carry it over. And Commissioner Delicio, there's a lot of aspects about that I thought that you might understand better, being in publishing, and we'd have
I'm
to.
just not sure we need it. Like you said, it's not that. If it was that much money to just do those maps, it was the mapping mostly.
Well, what they told me when I talked to Tom Simons, that did the original 2001 survey, he's with Front Range. he had said that a lot of the photographs that are in there of the buildings, there's probably about 6 to 8 photographs of every building. There weren't PDFs of those. They were just prints off of negatives, and so I'm not sure exactly how it would be done, and I'm not sure if the commission feels that that's the most important thing we asked for with the $10,000. There's 2 copies of the complete survey, one in my office and one in the library, that most people are going to be interested in their one particular house or property, the vast majority of people. And Tom Potter's just really good about helping people over there at the library. So tell me.
Landmarking would be more important. I mean, I was in favor of this, but I didn't realize how comprehensive that digitalization would take. And like you said, if they're all, it was just to make another idea to put that plan together to have a nice picture image, but we're not really ready for that, I don't think. I don't know. They did digitize the written document with the history, so that was, and you sent that to us. That was quite immense. That was quite a big record. I don't know if you remember reading that. It was about 200 page.
Yeah, that summary is quite
very well done summary. And then if we wanted to do flyers about certain buildings, we might want to digitize the ones that we do. I think it's probably something that we don't need to undertake right now, but the other commissioners might want to have some input.
And I do believe that anything that has been surveyed goes on the History Colorado website. So they have a database, I guess you'd call it. It's called Compass, and you can go on there and you can put in individual properties, and it will come up with the records they have on that. So I think, maybe it's already available to people, and we want to figure out the best way to spend money that council gives us, what would be most effective. So it sounds like the landmarking is a number one priority for everyone. Is that?
Yeah, I feel that too.
Okay.
Yes.
Shannon, are you in favor of more landmarking than digitizing all that 2001?
I would say yes for now.
Okay.
I would say even if we could just maybe, instead of focusing so much on digitizing, maybe just making it more clear that we have this information that is accessible and where people can find it until we are able to digitize it and put it all out there so everybody can find it. Does that make sense?
Okay.
That's a good, like that articulated way. That's a good way. Because I think we need to landmark more. That gives us so much more pressing information, and also the pictures go with the landmarking. So it is a better use of time.
And hopefully we can use the excitement of the landmarking to direct more people towards the already existing information that we have, and then maybe they'll want to digitize it for us. I don't know. You never know.
Right.
Well, the survey, the 2001 survey that I guess we all have a copy of now, of most of it, is public information. If you find anybody who wants a copy of it, I'm happy to send it to them if you can. So, because I just called the authors. I had gone to the library and looked at it, and I wanted a copy, and I called the authors, and they just gave it to me free. They said it's public information. So rather than worrying about how to get it on the city website, so I did have a talk with Les Downs, and he said, we just can't put a bunch of stuff on the city website. It's too complicated. So I think we should just table that for now.
I agree. All right. Do we need a motion, Georgie, to table that digitization?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we will stabilize the 2001 survey digitization proposal that we had previously requested.
I'll second that.
That was Jana.
Mhm.
And all in favor?
Yes. And our C item would be the preservation plans, and I think Chris had wanted us to at least select 2 from the, and I think Jana did quite a bit of research on, was it somewhere in Glenwood Springs, was it? That you liked?
Glenwood was one of them, and no, I can't remember the second one right now.
The one was that I liked was in Texas. It was, what was the one in
That's
Texas?
right. Yeah, there were a bunch of them on a list that Georgie gave us, and I read a few of them quickly, skimmed them. But
Right.
I think that I would love to have us do a preservation plan, but I think Georgie said we're not ready to do that.
Well, I think the survey plan is what's going to lead us into the preservation plan. Is where I understood it, especially when they gave us that survey review, that last meeting we had with the survey people. That was a pretty impressive way a stepping stone to getting the preservation plan.
Yeah, that was great. And I think, the first step in a preservation plan is having the public input. And so maybe once we get the new survey, we can try to do that this summer when we can see each other again.
When we didn't get in person, it was a good meeting. You had got the Trinidad Historical Society involved. It was a great meeting.
Yes, it really was.
Yes.
And that was really helpful. Down at the Chronicle News, they did a big splash on the front page, and that's how the Denver Friends of Historic Trinidad picked up on that, But yes, it's much easier to have a community meeting when people can get together and they can be looking at maps or looking at things together and, just talk. It's much easier to have a community meeting in person.
Yes, much better.
We had a fairly good turnout for our survey plan, that community meeting. I was impressed with that. So hopefully we're all going to have our shots and be free to roam around before too long.
Let's hope so. Yeah.
So we'll just put that on hold too, just table that as a...
On hold for now, okay.
Okay. So now would you like to give us your chairman's report? Is that...
You're the chairman.
You're the
I'm the chairman. Oh, that's right. The chairman. I was the vice chair. Well, I have no report other than helping you try to pick up the city properties that we would like to landmark. That's the only thing that we probably need to do this week is to get back to Georgie our top list of 5, and then she can send us what everybody thought, probably in a memo or something, and we can see if we're all on the same page of what buildings we think need to be landmarked, and just finding out our budget for doing those landmark, finding out the consultants' fees, and then proposing a budget maybe to get approved.
Right.
Okay. So
I'll
that's
have more
all I have for a chairman's report. And I know that some of you are going to that online classes with the state. Some of you are attending.
Yes.
Tell us about
Yes.
it. I didn't get to go.
I took a few classes today that were very interesting. One of the requirements for getting this money to go to the conference is that we pick a date when we share the information with others. So since we still have 2 days left of the Saving Places conference, I would suggest that we, at the next meeting, Georgie, maybe Shannon and I can do a quick report on what we heard and found out.
That'll be great.
That be okay?
That'll be great.
Yeah, it's really a fantastic conference.
I'm hoping we can go back and look at some of the other classes that we missed, because there were quite a few today that I wanted to watch, but I don't know if you guys are having this and I'm just like crazy, but like some of mine are like overlapping into like 15 minutes into when the other ones are starting, and I'm like, oh, I was gonna go to that one too, but I'm
Yeah.
okay.
They have like 4 per hour, and you can't go to all of them.
Yeah.
I went to a few today that were on trolleys all over the state. And what some other towns are doing with the downtown money, the Colorado Main Street grant money, they're doing some fantastic things. So I will share that out with you.
I definitely want to go back and watch the one about what they're doing for their historic plan for Colorado Springs. So hopefully that can help us understand what they're doing and how to do it more.
I did join in that one today. I'm not technologically skilled at all, but I had a difficult time logging into the classes. I kept having to go back to my email, find that email, open it up, put in my email address again. But they did say that all of the classes would be available, that following the conference that they would send out an email and make, so you can go back and watch any of the ones that you missed, which I'm going to have because trying to do it at work and people come in and talk to you when you're trying to watch it.
Yeah.
But I'm really hoping that by next year we'll be able to have it in person again. Both Commissioner DeLisio and Commissioner Rogan have been able to attend in person, and it's really something when you can be right there with the people.
Oh yes.
Yeah. It is a lot different, and it is much more overwhelming when you're there in person, because there's so many people that are involved in this in the state, and it's very
yes, you can network.
You can network, and you see a lot of dedication. It helps you get more inspired to work harder. And so let's see. That's all. Well, is that the commissioners? Does anybody else have another report from the commission on item 7? Okay, so I guess we could get Georgie's planning administrator's report.
Okay, and I guess I pretty much touched on everything I had in my report. I wanted to go over this budget with you and let you know that, I wanted to kind of get that reapproved, those things on there. So I'll just start with those couple things that we're thinking about right now. And I'll go with that. I wanted to let you know that, Chairman Chris Smith had resigned the commission, and hopefully, and just really encourage, I'd love to see somebody else come on the commission. So we have, let's see.
Is he overwhelmed with the preservation of the West Theater, or he's just?
He didn't really explain. He just, so, hopefully, Elizabeth will be great on the commission. I think she'll be a real benefit. And if we can get another person, we'll still have, one seat open. So if you know of anybody, encourage them, send them this way, And like I say, I really hope that we get past this COVID and we can move quite a bit faster than this past year. It's really dragged everything down. So, I appreciate y'all sticking with us, and I appreciate Commissioner DeLisio running the meeting for us tonight. And I appreciate Shannon to run it next month for us.
Yes.
Okay. But I also want to let y'all know, feel free to contact me at any time. If things come up during the middle of the week, feel free to call on me. You don't just have to wait till the next meeting. So I'm here.
I'm excited. I definitely talked to a lot of people that are very interested in history, so I will definitely see what I can do as far as starting to recruit. But today I had a chance encounter with some folks that recently bought the Mccormick Mansion, which is actually already designated, but they were like, we'll gladly entertain. So, and I did mention that we had discussed possibly doing our little festival with the different historic properties, and they volunteered. They said, yes, we'll open up the McCormick Mansion and everybody in. So,
Oh, that would be great. And that's something too that the McCormick House is on the National Register, but things can also be locally landmarked if they're on a national or state register. And the big difference there is, you could put something on the National Register and then the next day have it demolished. There's no protection with the National or State Register. That's the big advantage of the local landmark, is because then once it's landmark, they have to come back to the commission to seek approval for any alterations to the exterior of the building. So we kind of want to encourage that as well, if they show interest in locally landmarking their property, just have them give me a call at City Hall and we'll get them started on that. So,
Georgie, is City Hall open these days?
That's a good question.
the doors are locked, but there's a doorbell, and by appointment we can have people in. We're supposed to keep the capacity down, so we can, if you need to come in and talk with me, or if you want to look through that survey, the entire survey or something like that, just let me know and we can arrange that.
Okay, good. Dean, I think I talked to Chris, and I think he really is a born advocate, and I don't think he can handle the patience that it requires to work through the commission. So he's still going to be out there advocating for everything, and he has the same wishes we do. He just can't handle bureaucracy.
Well, I understand that. Because I've tried several things too to get going, and it's just gotten blocked, forgotten, or it happens. We tried a big educational project. It just depends on. You're right. We have to all be patient, and that's a good way to look at it. But I know there's a lot of buildings being renovated on. If you ever come up Animas Street, there's somebody that bought 3 big historical properties, and I think it's one owner, and they're renovating it, probably not historically, but they're not doing too much, but it's about 4 buildings up on Animas. I don't know if you know that or not, because it's kind of, I drive that way home every day, but they're 2-story, 3-story with different staircases, and I think one family bought it, so it'd be nice to find out. I'll go take some pictures and I'll bring it next meeting. Hopefully we'll have an in-person meeting.
That would be great. We're going back to in-person meetings on Rotary this week.
Good for you. I hope the city will do it. I think it's about time. I mean, we're all, I don't know, can't say what you feel anymore, or what you might not feel.
I know, you get really tired.
Vaccines yet?
I have.
I got one shot, just
Yeah, me too.
just because the health department had some set up and some people didn't show up, but they called City Hall and said, send your oldest people up, but I was one of the oldest, so.
I get my second next week.
I heard they did like 2 million people on Saturday and 2 million people on Sunday, so.
In Colorado?
Start pumping them out.
Right.
Oh, you mean statewide?
No, like countrywide, all in the USA. But
Oh, countrywide.
2 million people a day is pretty good.
They had 2 big vaccine clinics, one here and one in Walsenburg, about a week ago. And I think they did like 1,500 people in each of those clinics. They're doing really well down here. We're really going fast.
Yeah, they think I think they said by March 1st or maybe March 8th, they'd be lowering it down to anyone over 60. So, and hopefully with the new vaccine, the Johnson & Johnson coming on, it might be much faster that.
Yeah.
So I'm hopeful. I want to see my kids. It's been over a year. So.
Well, teachers are next, so let's get our teachers vaccinated.
Yeah. Yeah, got to do that. So that's all I had, unless you have any questions for me.
Well, I just want, when next meeting, will you have an idea of what we're going to send forth with the budget to see how many? And
Yeah,
you'll check on that.
I'll talk with Mike and make sure we can start with the landmarking and then
And get the
and
fee
then
from Burisma for
I'm
her,
sorry?
for what she does.
yeah, Sharice Boomsma, and then also we had talked about an incentive program for the people that did landmark. I'll ask about that one too. So then maybe we could do a PR push on that in the paper, you know, and maybe get some more people who have been kind of thinking about maybe landmarking their property. But I'd really like to get some incentives of some type together, you know, whether it's somebody wants to replace their window or fix their window correctly, you know, something that we could help out, provide a little bit of money to people to do things the way that it would preserve the historical aspect of the building. So think those things through, and if you come up with some ideas, and you know, of course it is bureaucracy, we always have to go to, you know, city council, but that's the way the government works, and you know, our tax money's spent. It's got a certain process, but that's all I did have.
Well, thank you, and thank you for your time, Janet and Sharon, that you're putting forth on that conference. And Georgie, your time is important too, and I thank you for all letting me be vice chair for the first time, and you can see how bad a job I did. So Shannon, you're going to do better.
You did great. You did great job, Shane.
You did great. I enjoyed the meeting.
Georgie, do we need to get this stuff to you before the next meeting? You know, the requirements to get.
No, I think they give us about a few months or so. I can't even remember, but yeah, I have time. So go ahead and, you know, just focus on enjoying the classes and everything. And then, like you said, do a report. We'll do a report next month. And then, you know, when you get time, you know, write up a little, they just ask for the three most important things you learned there, you know, and I'll send those off and we'll get reimbursed.
Yeah, I was surprised to see there was a lot of this area. The Ludlow Memorial was on there, and so it was cool to see that. I was impressed with how much Trinidad was there last year.
Yeah, Friday was on the Fox Theater as well. But yeah, when I watch some of those things, I'll just see images of Trinidad in the background of various different cities. It makes you proud.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to thank Tom Murphy too for coming to all our meetings and taping us. Thank you, Tom Murphy, if you can hear me. Thank you.
So sometime down the road, maybe this commission
You're welcome.
will put on one of those sessions.
And ask Tom what he's doing on his building. It looks like the Molnar Murphy's getting some painting or renovation.
Do you guys want it? Can you see my picture? My picture won't come up for some reason.
No.
Talking all. No, none. There. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, so we've got some big news. Besides painting, and we're hoping that we can get some Tura dollars because painting's expensive. So that's why we're going slow. But you're about to see a name change. We've got the sign wrapped up. We're making some big changes here. We're still a funeral home, but we got several things that we're going to be doing in addition. So I've been remodeling. We bought the building 40 years ago in the business. And this is our 40th anniversary that we've been here, and big changes. We're going to have a ribbon cutting here in a month or so, and so you'll see more out there on this. It's going to be cool.
Oh, cool.
So thank you for asking.
For time for taping the meetings for all of the city meetings.
Yeah, and you'll be able to watch the mayor's thing tomorrow night on my YouTube channel, Trinidad Times TV 71. So check it out.
Yeah, and I go to that Trinidad Times TV quite often because I can't make the actual meeting. So then I go back and I can watch it. So we really do appreciate that. That's a real big benefit.
And
And it
and
also-
well, for the
also
people
helps
that live in
my-
town, where my cable channel, channel 71, is going to be running 24/7 here in a couple weeks. So the meetings will also be on there, but that's for people that live in town.
Okay.
Oh,
So lots happening.
Well, good.
Great.
Get some press in the Trinidad Chronicle and keep us informed.
Okay. Thank you for asking.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So do we want a motion to adjourn, or any more questions or comments?
I'll motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Thank you, Jenna. Jenna, you might want to consider chairman too, or two vice chairs.
Once I get out of Rotary, once I get done with Rotary in July, then I would entertain something like that.
Well, let's.
okay. Well, I'm going to make a note of that. July.
That's not too far off. So, okay.
Maybe I'll fall in love with it. Just want to do it all the time.
That's right. You don't.
Nervous now. We'll see.
You'd be
I'm-
both.
I retired. I retired December 31st as a lawyer, and I'm trying to get a little peace and quiet. Just 6 months off. So I'm going RVing and doing a few things.
Well, good.
Once I get bored, Gene, then I'll consider it.
Okay, well, we'll keep in touch and we'll get Shannon trained, and she probably won't want to stop. You can just be the vice chair, see, and we'll have working
Yeah.
capital.
Then Elizabeth will want to be chair, so we'll all fight over it next year.
Okay, well, thanks for coming to the meeting, and we'll see
Yeah,
you.
thanks.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Thank
Thanks. Take
All right.
care. Be safe.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
This conference is no longer being recorded.